Yeah. So we have four um, divisional round games in the NFL this week. So we're gonna quickly just hit through some of these games. We're gonna predict them and then just kind of give like some quick hitters on what these teams are, what they are not, and some of the matchups that we like or don't like. So we talked a little bit about this before, but Bears Rams. Rams are 4.5 point favorite. I have no feel in this game, and I mean, if we do a pick 'em, we can pick then. But this is a game where I think they're two really flawed football teams. In terms, the Bears have struggled mightily at starting, and they've had a ton of miraculous comebacks all year. They've been the comeback kids, and Caleb Williams has a sub 60 completion percentage. He's at around like 57, 58, meaning like his efficiency is not great, and he is an accurate thrower, but his decision making is where and sometimes he is wildly inaccurate, but his decision making is not up to par yet. I think he'll get there, and some of the playmaking he has completely offsets hit the negatives with him. But they have also never been in a position like this where they are. This is our divisional home game. I do think it's going to be a raucous environment, which gives them an edge there. The Rams, on the other hand, is like you want. They've got Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. They've got guys everywhere. Kyron Williams is an underrated back. Their O line protects. But the thing is, Stafford's a statue, and when you do get pressure on him, he will make errant throws, and not even errant throws. He'll throw interceptions. And then their special teams is horrible, 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 horrible. So, the block punt against in the Panthers game last week was a huge inflection point and turning point in the game, and it kept Carolina around. Shout out Carolina for at least putting up a fight as an 8-9 football team. So, this Rams team has been trending in the wrong direction. This Bears team doesn't have a lot of I don't have a lot of confidence of them playing a full 60 minutes of football. What say you guys?
I am going to mine's gonna be very short and sweet. I think that the Rams are an extremely flawed team. As we saw in that Panthers game, like that game was that was a horrendous effort in that second half. I know they won the game. And I think the Bears, they kind of feel like the Commanders of last year where they're just finding a way, even though they shouldn't win these games. So I'm going to be taking the Bears here.
Yeah, I think an important consideration for the Bears is late in that game, their starting left tackle, Ozzy Trapillo, went down. So I think they're going to struggle a bit more at that position in this game. And that's significant because they've been able to run the ball pretty well all year. And I think he was protecting very well in that game. So they're gonna experience a little drop off in pass protection, which can only be bad for Caleb Williams because of all the reasons you just stated, Chuck. So I'm leaning Rams just because they've been in this spot and they've been on the road in the divisional round and have come up a little short against better teams. And I think that they're going to be able to correct whatever deficiencies that there were in those situations. And I think that I'm just going to lean on experience and the fact that they've been there before and Matt Stafford has proven that he can perform at a high level in these games. I think that I'm just gonna lean towards the guy that I think is a better QB and on the more talented roster with less injuries and that's forcing me to lean Rams in this game and I think they're ultimately going to be able to pull off a victory. Maybe not cover, but I think it's going to be close. But I think the Rams are going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I probably take the Rams. But okay, next game, 49ers, Seahawks. So Kyle Shanahan has been to two Super Bowls. And but just because he went to those two Super Bowls, it doesn't mean his best coaching job can't be this team where I project and predict that they lose to the Seahawks this round. They're 7 point dogs going into Seattle. I think they just might run out of juice. Their teams had to at least game plan for Kittle, like the Eagles last week before he got hurt. Now you can really hone in on Christian McCaffrey, and that's a lot of stress on Jawan Jennings and Demarcus Robinson and Kyle Juszczyk to really pick up the slack. Um, but I think this is Kyle Shanahan's best coaching job in terms of what this team has, the run they went on to get into the playoffs, and then the win against the Eagles at the Link. Just unbelievable run for them. But I think it ends against the Seahawks. One thing about the Seahawks and Mike McDonald is they run that 4-2-5, which is what a lot of teams run. Four down linemen, two linebackers, five defensive backs. And one of the discounted positions in the league right now is defensive back, particularly safety. Safety is like the new running back in terms of teams are not if you have a cap in the NFL, so teams have to be willing to at least let go of other positions money wise and use rookies to and draft picks to supplement that position, and that's been safety. Teams are not as willing to pay safeties as they are obviously tackle, edge, quarterback, receiver, linebacker, like interior D lineman. Those guys are more valuable right now than safeties. And what Mike McDonald has done is he has taken the discount you get on safeties and he's used that to his offense to just again the 4-2-5 where they always have five DBs on the field and they just have a conglomerate of really good high level safeties. The rookie from South Carolina, Eman Devon Witherspoon, the corner from Illinois, Kobe Bryant, Ty Okada, Julian Love from Notre Dame. Like, dude, just guys, really good safeties that can tackle. I think like three of their five leading tacklers are all defensive backs, and Mike McDonald has structured this team in a way that super smart because they can for 80 cents on the dollar buy these safeties and buy these really the guys that can play nickel safety corner and use it to make their to weaponize their defense, which is unbelievably good. And also with that, they have Jackson Smith and Jigba, who led the league in receiving this year. And with Sam Darnold, a quarterback who's put his second straight, almost like top five statistical quarterback season in a row. And I think he'll learn from some of his mistakes last year with the Vikings as that team did not pan out in the playoff run. But in terms of just playing good football, Sam Darnold, this is year two of doing it at a really high level. Ultimately, I think that's just too much for a 49ers team that's battered and bruised. Um, so what do you guys think about this game?
I think it's going to be a tough spot for the Niners to bounce back right away after going on the road and picking up a pretty big win. I think it's and losing George Kittle. I think it's going to be hard for them to immediately go back on the road and beat a team that I think is more complete than the Eagles team they just played. So Sam Darnold has to get over the hump eventually, and what better spot for him to be able to do that than number one seed coming off a bye, home game, raucous environment from the Seattle fans. I think that this is finally the place you see him play at a high level in the playoffs, and they're complete enough all over the place that he's going to have the team advantage and not have too much on his plate and be asked to do too much to put his team in a position to win. So I think he finally gets all over that playoff hump after two of the best quarterback seasons we've seen in the NFL over the last few years. So,
Yeah.
or regular season at least. So I think that I like the Seahawks in this spot. I really like their defense, like you were just saying. So I'm gonna lean Seahawks and say that they're able to pull it off at home.
Yeah, I'm going to be picking the Niners here. I think this team is just I mean, like Chuck said, this is probably the best coaching job Shanahan has done with the injuries come week after week, but wins keep coming as well. I think Sam Darnold is I think he's going to be trying to right his wrongs from last season's postseason appearance whenever they played the Rams, and he will take a ghost. And I think that continues. I love Mike McDonald. I love the Seahawks defense. I just think that the 49ers find a way, and they lean on a big game from
Mm,
Jake Tongs, the Niners tight end that's going to be replacing Kittle.
I think he's okay. I didn't like him last game. I did not like him last game. All right, sweet. The Buffalo Bills go to Denver to face the one seed Denver Broncos led by Sean Payton. The Denver Broncos have the best or second best, depending on what metrics you like, with the Houston Texans. It's the best defense in the league. But I just got two words: Josh Allen. Give me the Bills. Also, they run the ball really well. They have the best rushing attack in the league with James Cook. So, Bills.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Bills here because Bo Nix stings.
Jordan to the point. Uh I mean it's crazy to not give the Broncos that much consideration as the one seed, but I think that the Bills have kind of been just piecing it together as the years gone on, and for as much discourse as there's been about the top tier AFC quarterbacks not being in the mix this year, and it's finally Josh Allen's chance to do it. I think this is probably one of his worst teams since he's been on the Bills. And the Gabe Davis injury sucks too. That was horrible to watch and very sad. And it's going to impact the team. But like you guys, I'm just going to lean towards the better quarterback in this game. And for as good as the Broncos defense is, they're going to have to rely on Bo Nix to
Dude, the Broncos don't run the ball very well
make some
either.
plays for them. And I trust, yeah, I don't trust them in this situation. And for whatever reason,
Their
I just
leading
think that,
their leading rusher has 563 yards, OJ
yeah,
Harvey. It's like they
100%.
don't
Yeah.
run the rock.
It's
So
going to be a lot of Bo Nix football, and that could be good, that could be bad, but I don't trust him in these spots yet. I'm sorry. And I'm still not totally sold on him for as good as he's been over the last 2 years. I think it takes time to totally flush things out like that in a good situation for quarterbacks. So I think Josh Allen, I think he's gonna have a horseshoe up his ass this playoff run, and I think that this is the year for the Bills to do it, and I think that I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna take the Bills in this game.
all right, last one. Pats Texans. Um, I was at the Steelers Texans game. CJ Stroud left a lot to be desired from that performance, but he had some sick throws. He had two really sick throws to Christian Kirk that just put the game away. So as bad as he played, he didn't need to play that well because they're facing the anemic Steeler offense. So the one thing about the Texans, they have another top two defense I keep saying in the country, but it's in the NFL.
I'm
Dude,
not used to talking NFL ball.
yeah, their defense is their DBs are so good with Stingley and Lassiter and Jaden Petrie or Jalen or Jaden, whatever Petrie, like safety number 5 who wears the Guardian cap. Guy is so good. They tackle so well at the defensive back position. Um, but even with that said, the Pats play balanced football. And it's crazy, but yeah, they're 3.5 point favorites. So Vegas likes the Pats too. I like the Pats in this one too. At home, Foxborough, um, and with Nico Collins did not win a lot of his matchups against Joey Porter Jr., which is very, very if you're a Texans fan, you don't like to hear that because Christian Gonzalez is much better than Joey Porter Jr. in terms of coverage. So that's a matchup that they're
He
gonna
also
need.
might not play.
Oh, Christian Gonzalez.
No, Collins and
Oh, really?
Gonzalez actually, but I think Collins is pretty doubtful.
So again, we're relying on a lot of Christian Kirk. Um, so we'll see what ends up happening there. I'm gonna go with Pats. Not that riveting of analysis, but Drake May. I'm bought in a little more. His legs, the Drake May legs, that's a big part of playoff football. Is like you in Luke, you know this watching Jalen Hurts. Like, dude, the 30-yard explosive scramble on 3rd and 8 is a back-breaking play for defenses, and Drake May poses that ability.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I've been really high on this Texans team since I watched them play the Bills on I think it was a Thursday night game, might have been a Sunday night game, but it was one of the primetime games. And their pass rush is just so fun to watch. And you saw that in the game against the Steelers. They gave Aaron Rodgers hell in that game. And I don't think the Steelers protected particularly well, but Rodgers is also a statue in the pocket. So bad combination for the outcome, the Steelers' desired outcome in that game. But I want the Pats to win. I think Drake May is really, really fun to watch. They have so much juice with Mike Vrabel in his first year, and they're really young, and they're just a fun team to watch. I like watching good quarterbacks play football, and I think Drake May is the better QB in this game. But I want to trust what I'm seeing out of the Texans. And the pass rush is unreal and giving teams hell. And then they ran the ball really, really well against the Steelers as well. Woody Marsh they were just pounding inside zone down the Steelers' throat the entire game. They couldn't do a single thing about it. And that was seriously impressive to me. And I think CJ Stroud's going to settle down a bit. I think he was just a little he wasn't trusting his protection and trying to do too much with the ball in his hands. I think he's gonna settle down, and he's had enough playoff experience to this point where I think he's gonna be able to protect the ball more and just play within the offense more. Losing Nico Collins is a big deal, and it sucks for the Texans, but I'm just gonna trust what I see. And Will Campbell was a little bit shaky against Nick Herbig, and I think, or not Nick Herbig, against sorry, who did the Pats just play? The Chargers. He was a little spotty against Chargers edge rushers,
Yeah.
and I think that the competition is only getting steeper, and I think he's gonna have. I think all Pats offensive linemen are gonna have a tough time against this front, and they're gonna be able to impact Drake May and force him into making some throws and decisions that are gonna come back to bite them. So I'm gonna pick the Texans, even though I would like to see the Patriots win the game.
I'm going to go with the Pats. I don't really have any analysis. Just throwing it at a dartboard.
Love it, Arch. Okay, one more thing about this is why for the Pats and Caden Martinez, if he listens to this, will like this because it's linebacker play based. The Steelers linebacker play is hideous to watch in the run game. There's not a lot of face mask fit ups. It's a lot of run downhill, pick a shoulder and turn your shoulder and like run blindly into the hole, meaning the hole you're not covering is just gaping. I think the pass linebacker core is much more sound with Spillane, Gibbons, and Ellis. I just think,
The Steelers players, Spillane.
dude, he's awesome.
I know.
Robert Spillane.
It's just funny that you said that about the Steelers linebacker play, and then the first guy you mentioned was a Steeler.
Former Steeler, but he was awesome.
No, I know.
Yeah, I love Spillane. He's like that leader of that defense. He's aged like wine. You talk about a guy that he's like a starter. He didn't even start all the games for the Steelers when he played. It's like the guy's just gotten better with age. So, I think that's going to be helpful in stopping the Woody Marks and Texans run game. But if that's all we've got, that's it for this podcast, fellas. So appreciate you
It's
guys.
going to be a
tuning
fun
in.
few days of football, 3 days in a row of games with a lot of implications. So it's going to be fun.
So excited. We got to talk a lot of football today. Always grateful for that. Always grateful for these two. We're going to try to get Perry's thoughts as well in here through our editing. And our editor's he's got a big task ahead of him to figure out how to get video cap cut.
Our intern's got to get off his ass too.
Yeah.
Get to work.
Midterm.
We're paying him a lot. So it's the output is sad.
There's only so much physics.
Talking about physics. Yeah. I mean, what are we doing?
There can only be so much physics works that can be done. This enterprise
needs to mail it in.
4% equity for what?
Yeah.
Might be bumped down to 3.5 soon.
So
we'll lucky to get a cut.
I might get Arch to draw up a predatory contract for him to sign where we actually are taking a lot of the money he thinks he's entitled to.
The Social Network, when they draft up that contract for what's his name? Garfield plays him, right? Is it Garfield?
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield plays him. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
I know exactly. Yeah.
But they dropped the contract and
he's wired in.
Yeah. He wired in now?
Eduardo Saverin.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, what a movie.
Yeah, great movie.
But yeah, that's gonna be Luke Bowser at some point if he doesn't get off his ass.
You wired in now, Bowser? All right.
No, he's gonna be doing that to Arch after he reads the heinous contract that Arch fills up.
Yeah, true. My equity's gone.
He should have done a little more when he still had the chance.
All right, we got to get off this thing.